Zhenying Wang from the Institute of Plant Protection in the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences, and he has worked on IPM of corn insects for more than 30 years, and his work has involved IPM of fall armyworms since 2019 when it invaded China. He is also a member of the FAO Global Action Fall Armyworm Technical Committee. So welcome.
Thank you for kind introduction. I'm introduced mainly as a biological control. Yeah, you know, the fall armyworm just arrived in China last year. So first, we survey and identification of natural enemies of fall armyworm in China, and also we did a lot of measuring and also some experiment release for fall armyworm control. Please, next. We already, yeah, next, please. We already found 2 egg parasitoids. Is also like Dr. Mini mentioned, the Telenomus, remus, and Trichogramma chinensis. These 2 species had a natural, the high natural parasitization rate. Next, please. And also, we found 5 larval parasitoids. This one, Macroplatis, and also Cortesia. Next, please. And also another 3, and also is Malacrosimilis and Eclopcaris, and Trichogramma. So these 5 larval parasitoids we already found in south part of China. Next, please. We also found 1 pupal parasitoid and also 1 egg larval parasitoid. Next, please. In the field, we found many predatory bugs. We found 4 kind of the bugs like the Arma chinensis and also Pegromerus levici. These 2 species, with in my institute, some professors did the function response in the laboratory. The nephews and also the adult, they can predict a lot of the larvae of fall armyworm daily. Next, please. And also another 2 predatory bugs. We also often found in the field, and also they can predict a lot of the larvae of the fall armyworm when they did the experiment in the laboratory. Next, please. And also, we found a lot of the little beetles and also the lesbians in the field. They can predict the egg masses of the fall armyworm and also the larvae or different indices of the fall armyworm in the field. Next, please. We also found 1 predatory Carambid beetle. The adult and the larvae also can predict the fall armyworm larvae in the field. Next, please. We also found 1 earwig. The adult and also nephew, they can predict the larvae of the fall armyworm in the field and it very effectively. Next, please. You know, for the Trichogramma measuring is a long history in China, so we have did some of the rearing techniques very successfully. Next, please. We rear the Trichogramma in China. We use 2 methods. It's a small egg masses, small eggs for some species of Trichogramma, and also we use Chinese oak silkworm for other several species. Because the Trichogramma chinensis, it can be read on the racemose eggs. So this is the measuring for the Trichogramma of the chinensis and also other species. So this is the measuring for the racemose larvae, and this collect the racemose adult. Then this the machine for collect the eggs of the racemose, and also they clean the flat egg because they have some skill on it. Then make the egg cut. Then rearing introduce the Trichogramma. Is prepare the parasitoids egg cut. Next, please. And also we use the Sitotroga eggs for rearing the Trichogramma. This method is introduced from Europe but developed in China. So this production line for rearing of the Sitotroga eggs. So this rearing Sitotroga eggs, this collection of the moth, then collect the eggs of Sitotroga, then for Trichogramma rearing. Next, please. And also, in the laboratory, we select the candidates for rearing the Telenomus remus. We found the Spodoptera litura. The egg method is very good candidates for rearing of the Telenomus in the laboratory. Next, please. And also a pilot production for the predatory bugs very successfully in the laboratory by using artificial diet. This one is species Arma chinensis. This one is already mass-produced. It's partly used for the cash crop like tobacco to control some of the lepidopteran insects. Next, please. And also a pilot production, another predatory bugs, and in large scale, and also they have products and released in the field. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah, the field release for the Fall Armyworm control. Next, please. A pilot release to control the Fall Armyworm by release the Telenomus remus. We release the parasitoids, and also we harm some of the Fall Armyworm eggs is a laboratory produced, then release the parasitoids. After 3 days later, we take back of the Fall Armyworm eggs, then check the parasitoid rate of the Fall Armyworm eggs. We found the Telenomus remus has very good control effects on the Fall Armyworm eggs. So for the egg methods, the parasitoid rate is 100%. For the eggs, is over 80% of the eggs is parasitized by the Telenomus. Next, please. Trichogramma chinensis is also released to control the Fall Armyworm in the field. After release, we found the parasitation rate for the egg methods and the eggs of the Fall Armyworm is 70% and 80% respectively. Next, please. And also, in some laboratory, they some experiment to release the predatory bugs. So when they release the different ratio of the predatory bugs, this species, chinensis, when at the different ratio 1 to 20 and 12 to 110, they found after 2 weeks the release Fall Armyworm larvae is predated by the predatory bugs. So compared with the pesticides, when the 1:15 ratio, 100 release the forearm larvae is predated by the predatory bugs. Next, please. And also, they release another predatory bugs, Arma chinensis. They release the adult and all nephews, and they found when at the density of 450 adult per hectare after 70 later, nearly 76% of the control effect achieved when released the density of 600 nephew per hectare 70 late. So they got very good control effects. And also some the experiment release did by releasing another predatory bugs. They release the auris for the forearm control. When they release at a density of 20 for a corn plant, the control effects are over 30% in the kid test. So this is the result. So because only 1 year's experiment on the forearm release for the biological control, so that's the mainly result by the natural enemies for forearm control in China. Next, please. Oh, it's thanks for some professor provide some of the data and the photos. Next, thank you for attendance.
Thank you so much. That was incredibly interesting, and I'm just struck by the amount of examples that you had there, and how many possible candidates for natural enemies that you actually identified. It seems a very extensive program. Just, I guess one question would be here is how economic, like, is this an economically feasible approach do you think, for countries to be investing in and for farmers to be using?
Yeah, for the, for the Trichogramma in China, we use it for the control the Asian corn borer for many years. So this especially when released the Trichogramma use the big hook, the Chinese oak silkworm eggs is very, very cheap per hectare. I think is around per hectare around $3 to $5. But if you use the small eggs like the red moth egg or Sitotroga eggs, it's a little more expensive compared to the Chinese oakworm eggs. But it's also 1 hectare for one release is around $50. But because the technique is very mature in China, because the different kind of Acad, and also even now we release the Trichogramma by the drone. So I think for the Trichogramma release for control the forearm in the south part for the overwinter for the year-round occurrence areas for consecutively release, it will keep the armworm at a low density. I think it's
excellent. And you use drone to release it.
Yes. No.
That's interesting. A question here from Ravinda Joshi again. Good to see your questions coming in. A lot of interest here. Have you encountered any parasitoids during natural enemy surveys?
Pardon?
Have you encountered any parasitoids during natural enemy surveys?
One doctor already found in Guizhou province, they found 3 hyperparasitoids wasp already, 3 species.
Ah, excellent, thank you. A question here. It says, well, it also says, thank you for the many examples you provided. Can we use the earwigs that are commonly found in banana in controlling armyworm? Is there a specific type of earwig that works better, or do you think any earwig offers some opportunity here?
Earwig, yeah, earwig is, I think first we can protect in it if we plant the corn intercropping with other crops, provides the high the different biodiversity. This one can protect it, and also in China, in some laboratories, they began rearing the earwig and release, and also have some result release in the field to control the fall armyworm already.
Okay.
In China, yeah.
Dr. Wang, which is the most or the more effective fall armyworm predator, the pentatomid or the reduvid one?
The predators, because mainly they found it's very effective in the field, so many predators now in laboratory they use the function response to that, and the Arma predator bugs, these the adults, one day they can predict the third instar larvae, they can over 60. So they release it in the small scale field, they have very good control effect.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. I have another question here, and then we may allow you to answer some of those questions in writing, because there's quite a few coming through. Question here: on which host do you rear Arma chinensis or chinensis as a predator?
At first, they use some the very easy red host, like the oriental armyworm, because it can easily mass rearing. But now in China, they already developed one artificial diet, uses some of the insect ingredients, like the silkworm eggs, silkworm moth, pupae. But still a little bit expensive, but not. If they want to reduce the cost for mass rearing that.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Wang. I would just have to say that there's so much information that we would like to ask you, and we'll definitely welcome you back and all the other speakers today. It would be great to work more closely, because obviously there's a lot of work that all of you are undertaking, and in China there seems to be a particularly huge efforts going into managing fall armyworms. So it's great to see, and thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wang. And if you could answer any questions on the Q&A box, that would be most, we would be most grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.